A desperate plea for help posted on Facebook from the confines of a government-run quarantine facility.
We appeal to the higher religious authorities to find a solution. The body has been at the morgue for 4 or 5 days now. God cannot accept that.
This is the family of Malik Kadum, a 67-year-old Baghdad resident who died on March 21st from COVID-19. In line with Muslim tradition, Malik's body should have been laid to rest within 24 hours. But no graveyard would accept to bury him. The ordeal has further traumatized the grieving family. We spoke to them after they were released from quarantine.
The people and tribes that live around the graveyards refused to allow the burials. They said this is a pandemic and it will spread through the ground. But I blame the government because the graveyards are under their responsibility.
Nobody came to bid their respects during the 3-day mourning period. Instead, people sent banners with messages of condolences. There's a widespread stigma associated with COVID-19, and some of it stems from fear of being buried in a way that goes against Islam. Religious leaders have tried to clarify which burial rites can be waived.
We
believe that any dead person should be honored by a suitable burial, except in one situation, if a normal burial could hurt the living people. At that point, we can waive some conditions, like washing the corpse. But it's important to preserve honor by burying the body.
Religious authorities and the Ministry of Health have appealed to graveyards not to turn away COVID-19 victims.
The World Health Organization and Health Minister issued instructions on how to deal with the bodies by sterilizing them, wrapping them in sterilized cover and burying them 2 meters below the ground. All the experts say there'll be no risk associated with those bodies.
But the message had little effect, and the government has now allocated designated COVID-19 burial sites in the desert. The Popular Mobilization Forces, an umbrella of mostly Iranian-backed paramilitary groups, agreed to carry out the burials.
We are not burying them randomly. We're doing it in line with Islamic law. First, we put his right cheek on the soil facing Mecca. The shrouds are available, and we can also bathe the bodies, if the health ministry allows it.
Still, convincing families to let go of deeply rooted cultural and religious beliefs has been a challenge. Ultimately, they had no choice. 8 days after Malik's death, security forces escorted the family to the desert to bury his body. There was nothing to mark the location to help the family return for prayers, and little assurance, they say, that his soul would rest in peace. Simona, Foltyn, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.